So, evolution. Did we came from monkeys? Like I said, one of my specializations is in evolution and phylogeny. Is the science where we study the the evolution of the species and where we can arrange them in species and in little boxes, right, in groups. So every biologist at some point will hear this question, and the person will be like, they will think they will refute you with this. If you came from monkeys, why there are still monkeys? So the short answer is just, we didn't came from monkeys. But didn't Darwin say that we came from monkeys? And didn't he make this image? There are even people who call this Darwin's monkeys. And no, he never said that we came from monkeys, and we didn't came from monkeys. This image looks absurd, and that was the point of who made this image. So this did not came from Darwin, and came from the people who was trying to oppose Darwin, who are trying to ridiculize his theory. And they made this image because when people who doesn't understand how evolution works see this, they say, no, it's impossible, because we see chimps all around. Of course we did came from chimps, right? And we didn't. So what did happen? Evolution is a topic very complex, and I will not be able to explain everything in this short time. But um, just to have an idea how evolution works. Evolution is not something that happens quickly. It's something that happens throughout various generations, right? And every generation, every time a living being have a new generation, a newborn in an animal, or a new plant, there's a small chance that the DNA, that is the our code for how our body works, or how to form our body, right? And there's a little chance that this DNA have a mutation, a change in how the DNA is. And then you have three major ways that the DNA can have a mutation. A gene can be deleted, can be inserted, can be substituted. But the main point is something little will change in the DNA. Sometimes we even will not see any changes. We'll look at the newborn and it's the same. But these little changes can accumulate and have a bigger change. And generation after generations, these changes can be beneficial to the living being, the animals. In this case, the mice. In this case, the mice. And these changes um, can be like can influence if the individuals will be a better chance of reproduction or not. In the end, evolution is majorly influenced by reproduction. So an animal who can survive more, he can reproduce more. Então, all his genes will be passed to the next generation. An animal who can find more mates, he will reproduce more, and he will have more descendants with his DNA. And also, there's a lot of changes that doesn't change anything, but for pure luck can be passed on, right? So this is just a tip of the iceberg of how is evolution. Just so we understand that evolution is not something that happens over time. It's something that happened throughout millions of years, right? So I like to this example of we came from monkeys. We didn't came from monkeys. That's established. So we didn't came from our cousins. When you think or a family tree, that's pretty obvious. We, our siblings, and our cousins have the same common ancestors, which in this case is our grandfather and grandmother. It's something like that. The chimps, the other apes, they if have their own path of evolution, and they become what they are today, right? So I like this example because when you say did you came from your cousin, it's really obvious that we didn't, and it's the same thing for the apes. Apes are our cousins, right? So we came from a common ape ancestor. So it's an animal that do not exist anymore. He is extinct, and he is an animal that throughout different uh, um, ambients and evolutions, adaptations, they have descendants that lead to humans and all the other apes, right? So this looks simple, but this is not simple. This is very complex. And here we have a tree, a very simplified tree of the apes. We have the gorillas, so the genus gorilla, western and eastern gorilla, which they are a little more distant from us, and a little more more close. We have the chimpanzee and bonobo with the genus pan, who are our closest cousins, right? And when we see our branch, we have a lot of others hominoids, and this is also not simple, and it's very complex to us to put together this puzzle. So we characterize humans as every species within the genus Homo, and there are a lot of species that we know uh, that can be characterized in this genus. Um, but there are a lot of other hominoids that live it throughout the history of the Earth, and a lot of those live it at the same time. We know that, like Homo neanderthalis lived in the same time as Homo sapiens, which are us. And as you can see in this image, it's not very. We don't know exactly how this evolution, the pathway of all this evolution, because it's it's very complicated to put this puzzle together, because we don't have all the pieces. Every year we are discovering new fossils, and we are putting we are having a better understanding of this puzzle, but we don't know exactly how these branches happen. But we have somehow a panorama of how this works, right? So one thing is for sure: we didn't evolve from monkeys. Monkeys, we are monkeys, right? So how the group of the primates, we are one of the species in the order of primates, right? In the family of hominids, we are one of these species. We are the last hominids that are in the earth. All the other ones, they are extinct, but they lived, and we have the history. We can see the changes happen throughout the time. So we can say very certain that there was some evolution, and these evolutions came from uncommon ape ancestor, right? This is a very complex subject, so I tried to make very simple. I hope you could understand. Yeah, this is it. Any questions?
First, let's have a round of claps for Andy. Yay! Just a second.
Who's got the?
Wait. There we go.
Thank you.
Okay, well, that was a really good presentation, actually.
Yeah, and I think even though you said your English was rough, I think I understood everything you were saying with no problem.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
was really good.
Okay.
So, yeah. Do we
Any
have any
questions?
Well, it's not a question, but I do have a commentary on this.
Okay.
Actually, it's more of from everyone's presentation so far. One thing that I got out of it is, do y'all realize like nothing is simple? Nothing is simple.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
simple.
Turns out studying the world means needing to learn a whole lot of stuff because nothing is simple.
Yes, because if you take a step back and see everything that we know, it's kind of just the basic. That's really inspiring because we have so much more to learn.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We have one more presentation coming.
yes, and so someone even mentioned epigenetics in one of the presentations. I think it was Toto. And epigenetics is an amazing subject that I didn't learn
No, it was
in my
me.
graduation.
It was me, not
It
Toto.
was Vivi, yeah.
Sorry. But I didn't learn in graduation. I learned in the extracurricular course that I chose to go. This is just to show that that there are so much subjects that we can cover. That's it.
No, but yeah, that's true. Actually, I was thinking about it. Yeah, that's exactly what happened with me as well. I didn't hear it until I took a course on college that said about that. If there wasn't it, I wouldn't have knowledge of it.
Yeah. A lot of times, like high school only teaches you the ABCs and like maybe a few simple sentences of science. Like not the actual like details.
And that's why I think we can't emphasize more the importance of please do some research before you say anything. That's the one of the most important things. If you are gonna discuss a complex topic, or even if you think it is a simple topic, try to do a little research beforehand, because you'll be amazed on how simple things are actually much more complex than what you think.
I remember you mentioning mutation, but you also there are other ways by which genetics might be changed, specifically through sexual reproduction.
Yes. I just to say, this was just to show the tip of the iceberg, because the evolution is very complex, and we even doesn't understand every pathway that can lead to evolution. And we come on say focus too much in natural selection. And natural selection have I think it's the bigger force in evolution, but it's not the only force. And there's a lot of things that the animals have characteristics that came just for luck and have no meaning, no function, nothing, but it happens, and nothing it wasn't something that was bad for the living being, and just stayed. So it's very much complex than we think, right? But I was more like trying to explain the the complex way that it's slow. It's generation after generation, and then an example of the mutation. But yes, there are other ways that the evolution can happen.
Yeah, I remember as someone who studied optics, this is an interesting topic for me. But one of the bits of evidence that implies that life on land initially evolved from life in the ocean was that our eyes are filled with fluid. Because when you're trying to make a lens system, you want to avoid changing mediums. Because if you've ever seen light kind of bend when it enters water, that causes difficulty when you're trying to create an image. And so when you're underwater, you want your eye to be filled
which is
with
why
water.
you can't. Which is why if you open your eyes underwater, you can't see. You still can't see very well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because it's
Yep,
adapted
and so
for the interface with air.
Yeah,
I never thought about that.
it changed its index of refraction, but it
And
also
changes the
is
angle, which is trigonometry.
exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's Snell's law, baby.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, the eye is one thing that people who are trying to debunk evolution came with. Look how complex the eye is. It's impossible. No, it's very possible, and you can see very simple eye and very complex eye. You can make a pathway of how they evolve and become a complex.
Yeah, like you can look at like
if God made the eye. Yeah, if God made our eyes, he better explain why he put the optic nerve fucking backwards.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Please explain that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That also explains
You have a
why.
blind spot because your optic nerve goes instead of connecting to the back of the retina, it goes through the retina and then connects to the front of the retina.
It just makes sense.
Most people who want to debate the evolution just doesn't really understand, like the question we came from mocking, which doesn't make sense if you understand how evolution works.